Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jim Masters, your host, and welcome to our very popular and growingly famous. Is that an expression? I just made it up like I made up the word levity. Growingly famous Jim Masters Show Live entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series where we've done something like 730 episodes day in and day out to brighten your day, entertain, inform, educate, inspire, and have a good time with all of you, our interactive audience watching live from all around the world as we're truly bringing back the lost art of conversation. Amazing guests that have been coming through and stopping by JMS from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration. It is unbelievable. And we have a waiting list. We have like a month and a half waiting list, meaning that we're booked with guests 7 days a week, a month and a half out from today's show. It's just been like that ever since we started this incredible series. People just want to come on the show. They want to chat. They want to have funny moments, poignant moments, incredible moments. Did you see last night we had double Grammy nominated vocalist Monica Mancini, daughter of the legendary Henry Mancini, and her incredible husband, 8-time Grammy winning, as well as Emmy winning record producer and musician extraordinaire, Greg Field, live from Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. Amazing. Melba Moore was on the other night. Lucy Arnaz has stopped by. It's incredible. Michael Leonard from the Waltons stopped by our show. It's extraordinary. Tomorrow night, legendary Eva Cherry, acclaimed vocalist and model, going to be here. Yes, tomorrow. It's incredible. And thanks for all the levity. You guys are absolutely amazing. All the comments I get all day long, emails and texts and Instagram messages and Facebook posts, sharing the links, giving us private messages, telling us how much you're enjoying what we're saying, what we're doing, some of that levity that we're spreading around the world, and also the amazing conversations we have with the guests, all the entertainment. It's really cool to hear from all of you. So keep it coming. Drop comments on our YouTube channel right underneath all the episodes. I know you guys like to chat in the live chat, but also leave a comment on our channel underneath all the episodes and give us a thumbs up. That really helps us spread the word, because when you do that, YouTube likes it too, as much as we do. And they take the episode and they blast it out even more. We have an international audience that watches already, but then even more get to watch it. So don't keep it a secret. Let everybody know that you enjoy the Jim Masters Show Live as much as you do. And thanks for all the Instagram posts and the tweets and the Facebook messages, all at Jim Masters TV. You guys are truly amazing. It warms my heart to know that, you know, this show we started over 2 years ago and 730 episodes ago really means so much to you guys. So I just wanted to say that before we start this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live with a great friend, actually. Matter of fact, she is also a good friend of another friend we had here on the show, David Gere, a wonderful actor and producer extraordinaire. I've known him for many years, actually. We've worked together on projects. He was a guest. Well, guess what? His collaborator, his partner in crime and everything else, fellow actor and film producer, casting director, Chelsea Vale, is stopping by. And she was just telling me, now you guys know that we've been working on different dates to have Chelsea with us, because they've been filming in Connecticut, filming in Rhode Island, filming in Los Angeles. And I know, working in television, radio station, film, how crazy the schedules can be. You just never know what end is up and what day of the week it is. And even sometimes even remember what your name is. It gets that busy. So they've been really busy, and they've done like 10 projects in just the last year or so. And I'm talking about film projects and TV series and all kinds of amazing things. So we're so excited to have Chelsea taking a moment or two to join us here. And I'll tell you a little bit about her incredible background for those of you who may be learning about her. This is what she's always wanted to do, you know, her whole life. And she's doing it, and she's making it happen. And she's worked with some incredible people. I've actually been on set with Chelsea and with David as they've been doing incredible productions, a fabulous Christmas special production film that they did with Barbara Eden and Patrick Muldoon, you know, from Days of Our Lives, right? And Denise Richards and many others. We're going to talk about all, and there's a lot of new movies. They have series that are on LMN, Lifetime Movie Network, and everything else. So you will probably recognize the work And you'll be like, wow, these are the people behind the scenes making it all happen. Absolutely. Chelsea sure is, David is, and all the folks involved. She's an accomplished Los Angeles-based actress, producer, casting director. Her recent credits include The Junkyard Dogs, Drowning in Secrets, Damon's Revenge, Merry Xmas, Junction, Tales from the Other Side. Also, Crystal Ball, My Adventures with Santa, Saving Christmas, Vault, Blood Circus, Christmas All Over Again, Mostly Ghostly, and Inner Demons. Chelsea's forte has been balancing work on both sides of the camera, including operations, project management, and delivery. Chelsea has had an extensive knowledge of the entertainment industry and ran a company called Hollywood Made Easy, HME. She was also the president of her own social media company and handled high-level celebrity social media and press accounts. I need to borrow her Rolodex for our show. With her extensive background in film and television, Chelsea has now transitioned into producing and screenwriting with a focus on commercially viable projects, all while continuing her impressive work as an actress. Yes. And there she is. And she's joining us here live. Actually, 1 minute she's in LA, then she's here, she's there. She's actually coming to us now from Connecticut, as they are just wrapping up another incredible project, and we're so excited to have her here. I just want to let you guys know, quick reminder for those of you who would like to comment while the show is live, because you can always comment 24/7 when the show is not live, but when the show is live, which it is right now, you can comment in the JMS Lovity chat room, which is the live chat room that has a bunch of comments already built up. Thanks for the comments. You can chat with each other. Sometimes we'll take a look at some of your comments. If you'd like to support our series, do a super chat, super emoji, super sticker. That really helps us out during the show to support all this content we do day in and day out, 730 episodes live. And you can also do a super thanks, which is that little heart icon that is on the YouTube channel. It's a little heart icon there that helps support what we're doing here. So all this incredible stuff is happening for all of you. And again, if you'd like to comment during the actual show, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, that houses all these episodes. Reason why is because that's an exclusive gift for our subscribers. Those who subscribe to the YouTube channel, just click that red button there. There's no cost for that. You guys get to chat amongst yourselves, and you guys get to chat with us during the show when you are a subscriber. So make sure you do that. Click the notification bell. Really important. Click that notification bell. That way there, you'll never miss any of our episodes because you get special announcements from us here at the Jim Masters Show Live about all the episodes. So you'll never miss any content, never miss any of the incredible episodes of our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. With that said, live and direct from Connecticut, my good friend, award-winning actress, producer, casting director, and more, Chelsea Vale is joining us. And here she is. Chelsea, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic. You and I were just comparing notes just moments ago before we were going live about how incredibly busy we are. And you would think that with everything that's gone on the last couple of years, we maybe, like a lot of people, wouldn't be as busy, but it's been busier than ever. You just were telling me you guys were just working on some 10 projects or so. Incredible, huh?
Yeah, no, it's been insane. I think, the world shut down for COVID for everybody, for about a whole year. And then I think as soon as they started to peel back all of the restrictions and regulations, they needed content, So it was just like one thing after another. They just kept kind of coming in all at the same time. So it's definitely kept us busy this last year, but we're very thankful since we all went a whole year without working. So,
Yeah.
we're glad to be back in it.
Well, what it is everybody I keep talking to keeps telling me too that there's almost like a backlog, like performers who are going on stages are saying they're trying to keep up with bookings because there's this backlog of previously booked shows and things that now are being resurrected. Plus there's new things, and there's just not enough hours in the day to book everything and do everything because they're trying to bring back what came to a halt back in like 2020-ish. You finding the same thing? Everything's sort of resurrecting and everybody wants to do everything now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like even the studios, the sound stages, all in California, even New York, everything was shut down. And now it's just like you said, it's backlogged. Everybody's needing to get in with the new content, but then all the other things that were scheduled and went on hold are all fighting for the same space. So we're actually finding a lot of things are shooting more on location because they're having to. They can't just do everything in the sound stages. They are kind of spreading things out, which is helping. That's why I think there's so many films filming, all over the United States and honestly the world. A lot of different countries are getting really busy with products from the US and all of that.
Yeah, it's really amazing, isn't it?
Mhm.
So tell us about some of the cool things. Again, welcome to the show. It's so cool to have you here. Say hi to my buddy David, of course, as well. Always good to hear from him and see him as well. And he's welcome to pop back on at any time. Um, Tell us about some of the amazing things that you've been working on during this crazy time. So much.
Yeah, we actually just finished a movie for Lifetime again called Long Night. So, and it was very long nights. We
Yeah.
filmed all over nighttime. So we're barely getting back onto the daytime schedule. Like I was saying earlier, it was going to sleep at 7 in the morning was the normal, so you don't. So we just finished that movie. So that movie is actually, it's done through Marvis Entertainment. And it most likely will end actually up on Tubi. And so, but
Oh,
that's,
Tubi. Yeah, we get Tubi
yeah.
here. We'll look for that.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a really great one. We had a really famous actor, really awesome actor. His name's Pooch Hall from The Game. He was our lead that was on that. And Ray Donovan, he's on Ray Donovan as well. So we just finished that a couple weeks ago. So we're just going through all of the delivery process with that project now. And yeah, so that was the latest one that we just did. We also just did a one called Mary Xmas. And I actually play one of the leads, Cassandra, in that one. So that one was really fun. So that one I was definitely doing both sides of the camera. I was producing and acting as well, and I was in it every single day. So it was kind of a challenge to balance both of those, when it's that large of a role. But, it's what I love to do. And, I just took on the challenge and kind of, just went full force with it. So we just finished that about a couple months ago. And so that one will be coming out from BMI Worldwide pretty soon as well.
That is so cool. I know how that is with that balancing act and trying to make it all work. And sometimes you get so busy, you just forget who you are, as you're playing the role of, the other character. How do you find ways to balance it all? Because again, you're working behind the scenes and you're involved in development and casting and, script writing and a lot of other things, as well as being, looking through the lens, as well as being on the other side of the lens. How do you find time to balance it all where nothing suffers, where your attention is sort of equalized where it needs to be? I know myself, sometimes I'm wearing so many different hats on camera, on air, behind the scenes, and pulled in so many directions. Sometimes that's all happening at the same time. And you have to sort of say, okay, how are we going to make all this work? What method do you do? How do you make it all happen, Chelsea?
I think the biggest thing that helps me is that it's the team that we build around us. I have multiple producing partners that are, very awesome. And, any day that I have something where I'm acting, they're like, Chelsea's not here to answer questions today. You've got a question, you need to go to Paul, Chad Verdi Jr. or David Gere. Those are three of our main producing partners that we work with a lot. And they're able to kind of step in and really be able to help balance that, as well as just our entire crew that we build around us. We have really great UPMs all the way down to our first AD. So we've kind of created a great crew that we typically try to reuse because we're all used to working with each other. And so I don't think any of it happens without the entire team, really. So I think the entire team is what really kind of helps put it together. And because they have worked with a lot of the same team members a lot of the times, they will say to, they know, they're like, Chelsea has a really dramatic scene that's coming up. Give her some space right now. So, I think all together, the way that it works is really just the team that we've built around us.
That's really cool. Going back in time a little bit, growing up, you grew up in Los Angeles, right? In California?
I actually grew up in Colorado.
In Colorado first.
I was in LA for 10 years, and then now I'm going back and forth. So
what part of Colorado? It's a beautiful place.
Denver.
I was on a TV shoot in Denver. Oh, it was about maybe 2 years ago, just before the pandemic. YouTube goes crazy when you say that word. And I was interviewing. It was for a television news magazine show I do with my co-host Doug Llewellyn, who hosts the People's Court. We've been doing that show for years out of New York, the news show. And the person I was interviewing, said, "Okay, you're going to fly out here to Denver." I said, "Yeah, we'll come out with the crew and we'll do the whole thing." And she I said, where would you like to film, this television project? Oh, she said, if there's any way we could film at Red Rocks. And I was like, sign me up, Red Rocks. Yes. So we filmed all outdoors at Red Rocks, and it was really, really cool. Beautiful area. What made you decide to, pick up the bootstraps, pack the bags, and move on from Denver? And LA was the next stop, right? Not New York, but you went west to LA.
Yep, LA was the next stop. So I've always been into the entertainment industry since I was 7 years old, and I'm also a dancer as well. So I started with dance first, and I had agencies that were in LA, and my parents were allowing me to travel for auditions while I was still in high school. And so I booked my first movie job my senior year of high school, and it was called Bolden, and it actually filmed in North Carolina. But I was there for a couple months, and so I finished out high school being homeschooled on that set, actually. So I missed my graduation, all of that type of stuff, because I was, focusing on my dream and what I really wanted to do. And my parents would not let me move to LA until I had booked a role or something like that. They really wanted me to finish high school and do everything, the correct way. So as soon as I booked that role, I left a month later. As soon as I was done with that role, I came back and I was like, guys, it's time to go. So I'm packing up. So I packed up all by myself. I was 18 years old, didn't know anybody. I think I scared my parents to death, and went to LA. So that's kind of how it happened.
So when you went to LA, what happened? What was it like? What were some of those experiences like in the beginning? And what were some of those opportunities? When you went, did you already have a couple of things lined up and set up, or were you just going, getting yourself set up, getting food in the fridge, getting plates and forks and knives and, the bedspread and the pillows, and then pounding the pavement? Or do you already have a couple of things, sort of connections lined up? How did it work for you, Chelsea?
Yeah, so I went out there when I already had an agency. So I signed with DDO Talent Agency, which is a big dance talent agency.
Yeah.
And so I had that set up before I was out there. And that's also how I was able to book my first role. So as soon as I got out there, I worked part-time at Ulta Makeup, actually. And I chose to do that because I could do stalking early in the morning. And then I would have my entire day to audition. And auditions worked quite different as a dancer versus an actress. As a dancer, it's kind of more like cattle calls kind of thing. So they'll show up 500 people to audition. You get, a number pinned on your shirt, and they just call your numbers if they want you to stay, and you go through rounds and rounds of auditions. So you can be there sometimes 6-8 hours at that audition. So you really have to have your days open in order to do that. Whereas acting auditions, the hardest part is to get the audition because they only bring in a certain amount of people. So that's kind of the difference. Then you just kind of go in and out, and you're, in and out within 20 minutes for an acting audition. It's quite different than dance. So I made sure I had all of my days available and kind of just hit the ground running on all of that.
Isn't that incredible? So was dancing really the thing that you wanted to focus on first, or did you always have the acting sort of tagging along as something that you wanted to dip your feet in as well, Chelsea?
Yeah, I always definitely wanted to dip my feet in both of them. Some of my first auditions I went out for were High School Musical. So I was really trying to do things that were kind of intermixed together. And then it just so happened that the first dance role that I booked was a feature film movie. And so as soon as I was on that set, from that point on, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to be on sets. I want to be in film. I want to do all of that. So then from that point on, I reached out to my manager. My manager started setting up agency meetings for, acting, and started going into classes. I trained with Cynthia Bain in LA. She's one of the big Disney coaches out there. So that's kind of what I did there. And then, I booked Most of the Ghostly, which is a Disney Goosebumps series right after that. So that's kind of how I started things like that. And then I also was on a Nickelodeon show, Nick Jr. show called Fresh Beat Band. And I was a dancer and actress on that as well. So that's kind of how I started it all. So dance is kind of what led me into getting into the door. And then from that point on, I really have focused on acting. And I don't really dance much anymore. I'll do it if it, comes with a role or something. Primarily now, I just focus on acting.
That's so cool. That sounds fantastic. What would you consider? I mean, some of those things you just mentioned are great door opening opportunities and networking, and also, sort of fine tuning, honing your craft as you're going along, especially when you're first starting out. We all do that in our own different ways. What would you consider, while being in LA, one or two other really sizable opportunities that came your way that really accelerated the train for you as far as people noticing and appreciating who you were, your talent, what you bring to the table, and these opportunities then started to lead to even bigger and bigger things for you, Chelsea?
I think another really big turning point was after I booked a feature film called Inner Demons. That was one of my first horror movies that I did, and that was just an awesome experience. So that led to a lot of doors that opened following from that, and off of that performance, I had opportunities to get with better agents and managers, and from that point on, that's kind of when things kind of started to accelerate. But like I say, it didn't ever happen overnight. I
No.
tell people it takes 10 years to go to LA, and do not give up, because that's just how long it takes. And people say they hit it like within 6 months. It's just really not the realistic thing. I mean, very few people, that's great. I mean, that's lucky, but really it takes 10 years of solid dedication. You get told 100 no's before you get one yes. And that's the biggest thing. You just kind of have to keep moving forward. And the other thing that I've learned as being on the other side of things as a producer, which has really helped me with my confidence, and everybody should really know this, is there are so many other elements that go into why you don't get a role, or this or that. And I see that now on the other side, where it's, who else is cast? Do they need to look like them? Do we have diversity? Do we need to? There's so many other elements that go on there that as long as you do a good performance, you just need to be happy with your audition and your performance that you gave, because you have no control of all the other elements that are kind of there. And so that's one of the biggest things I've learned on the opposite side that's helped me as an actress as I go forward with everything else.
It sounds to me, as much as you are a performer and producer and all, and casting director, you like mentoring and educating and teaching and paying it forward too, don't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I really love to do. Even all of my crew and everything like that, a lot of them started with me very young, and a lot of them came to me and they were PAs, production assistants. And they've said to me, oh, I really want a first AC eventually, and I want to do this or that. And so we slowly start to bring them into some smaller projects, and they can kind of follow and mentor some of the other people who are in those department heads. And I really do like to be able to bring everybody up to have those opportunities, because it is a very tough business to get into. And I think that everybody needs to help each other out, really.
That is very, very true. So, how did you get everything? How did you come to the East Coast? What brought you east? And when was that you came to the East Coast and said, okay, did the West Coast? Now we're going to dip into the East Coast a little bit too, keeping those West Coast connections.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. So it was about 6 years ago, and I booked a movie called House Rules at the time, which has now been changed to Blood Circus. And we were supposed to be filming in Boston. And my manager at the time was like, hey, actually, I think we're going to move this movie to Connecticut. And I was like, Connecticut? Like, why are we going to Connecticut? What's filming in Connecticut? He's like, there's a local producer there, David Gere. He's got a lot of connections. He can bring a lot to this project and really help elevate it. And so that's kind of how that happened. And so 6 years later, I flew out, or 6 years ago, I flew out here and did that project. And from that point on, I met Christy Carlson Romano from Even Stevens back in the day. And also she plays Kim Possible on the animated series. And she said to me, hey, I've got another Christmas movie that I'm doing in like a month out here, and I'm looking for someone to play my sister in it. And I think that you would be awesome. And so that's kind of how that happened. So 3 weeks after we finished House Rules, Blood Circus now, I flew back out here and did that project. And then I really just met, a bunch of other producers that were here. And I decided to kind of dip my toe into this market and see kind of how everything was out here. And it was different, it was a completely different experience than Los Angeles. And it was fun, it was really, really fun to be in a different state where there's not filming that happens here every day. Well, back 6 years ago, there's a lot of filming that's happening here now.
Yes, right.
But 6 years ago, there really wasn't. And it's really nice because the communities here are so excited to have projects here. They're so excited to have, Denise Richards come in here. We took her to Walmart, and it was like all over the news. It was all over the radio and things like that. Denise Richards like shopping in Walmart, and so and because she posted a video, of us being in there and stuff. And so it's just been really fun to be out here because it's a completely different experience than it is on the West Coast.
Isn't that incredible? That's really, and what's really cool about it all too, is you guys have been bringing in to the Northeast some extraordinary talent between New York and Boston, like you say, in the Southern New England region. You had an opportunity to work with one of my favorites, being a television guy. We all grew up with her, and she's just an extraordinary actress. Hard to believe she's like 90, 91 now. still looks like $1,000,000, a total sweetheart and a terrific talent, Barbara Eden.
Oh,
Now, I happened to be there. I remember being there. David had invited me on set, and I got a chance to see you guys creating. We went to, I believe it was the Armory that was turned into like Santa's workshop, which was unbelievable. What was it like working with the incomparable Barbara Eden?
oh my God, she was honestly the sweetest woman that I've ever worked with. And she was so fun because the things that we got to do in there, she was, attacking everybody, all the bad elves with these candy cane, like little guns that were made out of candy canes, and it popped out like powder at everybody. And she just had the best time with all of that. She just really brought in a whole different energy and level to everything. And just the sweetest lady. And I remember I went up to her room one day just to check on her, and we were kind of talking and things like that, and somehow got into the talk about dancing, because she danced obviously, on that on her I Dream of Jeannie show and everything, and we started talking about twerking somehow. Her assistant started to bring up twerking, and she's like, "Twerking? What's twerking?" And I was like, you kind of like bounce your butt, and like I didn't know how to exactly like say it to her. She's like, "No, I don't know. You need to show me." And so in her hotel room, I was teaching Barbara Eden how to twerk. So that was one very fun moment that we had with her. But she was just an absolute doll to work with and just such a sweetheart.
Now, I can verify if that story is accurate because I have her in the bottle.
Oh, there you go.
I have the actual I Dream of Jeannie bottle. And did she actually teach you twerking, Barbara? Oh, excuse me, Jeannie? Yes, you did. She's in the bottle.
There. We'll have to get her out later.
I was going to say, this thing weighs a ton, too. A friend of mine knew I always enjoyed Barbara Eden and I Dream of Jeannie and the whole thing. And for a birthday, this was a gift. And the detail is incredible, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Shoosh.
Awesome.
So she's in there. She sends you guys her love.
Good.
But also on set, Denise Richards, of course, Patrick Muldoon, and a cast of other fabulous people. How did you assemble that crew and put it all together and, get all the yeses in the way that you did?
Yeah, that project was done by Hollywood Media Bridge, based out of Los Angeles, and they teamed up with our production company out here. And, we had done a project with Patrick Muldoon actually prior, another Christmas movie a year prior, and he was very close with Denise. They've done many projects together, and he was like, I think Denise would be awesome to bring into this cast. And so he's actually the one who kind of helped with that introduction for Denise. And then the two of them came out. We just had an absolute great time with them. And then we were trying to find, who was going to play her Mrs. Claus, and who better than Barbara Eden? I mean, there's nobody better that you could possibly pick. And I mean, she looks amazing. It's crazy to believe, like how you said, her age that she's at, because she doesn't seem like that. She doesn't look like that. And she's just full of energy. And so we all kind of brainstormed. We went out to her representation, sent her over the script, and she loved it. And so there we had it. So we had a great cast that came together on that. We also had Jamie Luner. She was really awesome too. She played La Befana, that was the name of her character, and she was kind of the head of the evil elves, and so we had a really good time. So we had the good elves and the evil elves that were on there, and they were kind of battling each other. And so our sets were very opposite like that too. Like you said, you were at the Armory. We had two different sets that were built there. One that was like the North Pole, and then which was La Befana's, like her kind of domain and area. And so one was much more dark and stark, and one was light and bright. And so it was really fun to see the contrast on those sets right next to each other.
Really incredible, I tell you. We have a couple of different clips here that we want to share with our audience. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Jim Masters. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live, entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series. Our illustrious guest on this episode of our 730 episodes and growing so far, I can't believe that, is Chelsea Vale. And she's actually coming to us from Connecticut, and brilliant actress and producer, casting director, and Jill of all trades, you can see, and loves every second of what she's doing. And their work, because all you have to do is turn on television, and you've seen it in theaters, online, everywhere. It's incredible what they put out. We have this one here. This one goes back just a little bit. This is Damon's Revenge. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, Damon's Revenge. That was a really fun one. So I played the character of Adriana, and that's actually the second film after Burial Ground Massacre. So that's the first one, and then Damon's Revenge is the sequel to that. And so that's a really fun story. We worked on that for a while. We filmed that here in Connecticut. And we did some stuff in Rhode Island as well on both of those projects that was there. But that was a really fun one. I did all my own stunts in that. It's a great horror project. We filmed at a great Airbnb. We had helicopters that came down. It was just a really good time, and it was a lot of work, a lot of fun. I think we had a lot of stunts where we had some of our big henchmen, and I believe in making things look real, so if you're grabbing me, I'm gonna pull. So I mean, I have bruises all up and down my arms. We had to laugh the next day. So but it came out really good, and it was an awesome experience. We had Michael Madsen in it. He was amazing. We filmed that stuff in LA. And I went up to LA, did my scenes with him out in Los Angeles, and he was just an incredible talent, So we had some great times on that project.
What was it about for those who are going to see the clip? Can you give us a little teaser on what what's about?
Yeah, so on the first one, Burial Ground Massacre, is a group of kids that go away to a vacation home kind of thing, and they get, there is an intruder that kind of comes in and eventually starts taking the kids out one by one. But there's also a Native American aspect that goes inside of that. And ultimately, my character is the one that ends up surviving throughout all of that. And then in the second one, it's kind of the aftermath of everything that happened from the first one, and her character, kind of just coming back to after she went through all those traumatic events of, of losing all of her friends that were there, and finally starting to be able to have confidence again, to kind of go back into everything. And she meets this girl who is obsessed with the story of what happened, because it was a famous story, and she brings her back and kind of does everything to make Adriana kind of go through it again, because she thinks it's kind of funny and a game to go through. So it's kind of that cat and mouse kind of thing.
Really cool. Let's take a look at a clip. This is the trailer for Damon's Revenge here on the Jim Masters Show live. And then we'll be back with our very special guest joining us tonight, Chelsea Vale. Here we go, gang. That is something else. That's riveting. And I saw, of course, Tom Sizemore, another brilliant actor, part of the team. What's it like working with Tom?
Oh, I love Tom. So I've known Tom for a while. We used to have the same manager. So we've done, I think that's our third project together that we've done. And he's just an incredible actor to work with. I mean, I remember the very first time that I actually got to work with him. We were sitting in his hotel room, and he was kind of just giving me advice and tips and things like that of everything that he's learned. And he's another actor who really likes to take other actors under his wing and really just kind of mentor them, which I really admire about him. And he's the type of guy that, he jokes around and he's, doing everything crazy, but then he wants to come in and right before you're ready to go, let's rehearse, let's do it again, let's do it again, let's do it again, And so he's really a master at his craft and making sure everybody else feels comfortable as well, because he says, if you're not comfortable and you're in the performance, then I'm not going to be comfortable, and then my performance isn't going to be good, So, I mean, it's kind of, he really does kind of do the whole team work together, which I love working with him. He's just an awesome talent, super talented. I mean, you don't have to say that. So
right, exactly. He really is. Absolutely. There's another one too. Now this, I believe, is on the Lifetime movie network, LMN, right? Drowning in Secrets.
Yeah.
So our viewers may recognize that, because a lot of our viewers, they love all the networks, but they love Lifetime, they love Hallmark Channel, they love all of them.
Yeah, no, that was a great one. So that one came out in March of this year. That was a part of the spring break breakdown for the weekend that was there. Came out on the Friday night at 8 p.m. slot that was there. So we got a great spot. So we were really excited about that. And that project we filmed in Connecticut, and I play a character, Maya Caldwell, in that. And my character goes missing at the beginning off of a boating accident, and I end up washing up in the middle of the movie, and you figure out kind of what happened to me and why I went missing and all of that. But I do fall off of a boat, and I did do my own stunts again. So we did that in the middle of the ocean, and that was an awesome experience. We had, the safety divers and all the different boats that were there.
Was it the Pacific or the Atlantic?
It was the Atlantic. Yeah.
The Atlantic. Wow. Yeah.
So we did that. We had to go out far enough in the ocean where you couldn't see any of the land, because if I, wow, filming, you can't see the land if she goes missing in the middle of the ocean. So we were pretty far out, and I'll never forget one of our grips that's on there, Jim. after we were done filming, he was like, I didn't want to tell you this, but there was a shark that we saw passing. And I was like, are you serious? Like, why wouldn't you have said that? He was like, it was way far away and I wanted to wait till you were done beforehand. And of course he had to like pull up a photo of the shark and everything. And I was like, you shouldn't have showed that to me. I don't know if I'll do that ever again. But it was an awesome experience. It was a great movie. I really recommend anybody to go check that one out. It's one of the ones that I'm very, very proud of. So
That's incredible. Again, LMN, Lifetime Movie Network. Yeah, good thing he waited to tell you till after. Smart man, got to get that shot. Got to get that shot. The sun is going down. We're fighting the sun going down. We got to get that
light.
shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Been on many shoots where that's been the thing. We got to talk faster. The sun's going down. It's hard to match the thing the next day. The scene. Here it is, gang. Scene on LMN, the Lifetime Movie Network. Again, we're talking about producer, actress extraordinaire, and working with the team, David and everybody, on these epic productions, films, television series, specials, and more for all of you. This is Drowning in Secrets on LMN, the Lifetime Movie Network.
And now, a sneak peek of Drowning in Secrets.
We found Maya.
Drowning in Secrets premieres next Friday at 8, part of Spring Breakdowns on LMN.
That's really cool. And we actually have another one that's about 30 seconds, and this is the trailer for Drowning in Secrets. Let's take a look at that, gang, as well.
We were all just having a good time, having a couple drinks. When I got back on the boat, she wasn't there.
Friday.
We're gonna find her.
We have to consider all possibilities.
Are you saying you don't think it was an accident?
Lately, it was like she was always hiding something.
Were you having an affair with my sister?
I'm not sure what you heard and from who, but rumors are exactly what they are. Lies.
Drowning in Secrets premieres Friday at 8, part of Spring Breakdowns on LMN.
I love that. On LMN. That's it. Very dramatic. That is cool. That is really cool. What's been the response to that? I have to tell you, one of the things that I know in seeing your work, and David's and everybody, the production value, as somebody who knows production value as well, the production value is fantastic. I mean, this is really state of the art production value that you guys, you spare no expense. It's really high quality, high end. And that's one of the things I noticed in all of the work that you guys are a part of.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So David's a very good, piece of that puzzle that fits in there because he has extensive contacts here in Connecticut. So he's able to amplify, what we typically have in our budget. And he's able to make it even more, so we're able to get a lot of these things that help, because there's a lot of people that are here that want to be part of it. So it's really the community here that helps bring that production value to all of these projects, as well as, again, we always use top of the line cameras, gear, all of that. Actually on the one that you just saw, Drowning in Secrets, and the one that we just did, Long Night, that we just finished filming a couple weeks ago, we actually brought our grip trucks from Los Angeles. It's a guy named Curtis who we work with very often from Snakebite Productions, and he brings up two entire trucks full of all camera, all the grip gear, everything that we need, and drives it all the way across the country. And we're able to kind of set that up out here. So he is a huge help in adding some of that production value, but really a lot of it is the community here that supports us, that helps us kind of amplify what we already have.
That's incredible. I know there's a recent one too, and we have some great photos we're going to show on set and more as we continue chatting with our special guest on the Jim Master Show Live. Chelsea Vale is here in the house. There's a recent one that's pretty cool because, again, for those who are watching, do they just do horror? Do they just no. They do everything. This production company, and what they do is something for everybody. They do family movies. They do it all. This one is the Junkyard Dogs. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so the Junkyard Dogs, that's a really fun one. We did it with Denise and Patrick again, and that comes out on August 5th. So everybody should stay tuned for that one. But that's a really great family fun movie that everybody can enjoy. Our 3 stars were actually the dogs. So there were days that we had no actors on the call sheet. It was just dogs, which that was a completely different experience working with. But the dogs were amazing. The trainers were amazing that were there. And then we also had two of our stars were the two children that were in the movie. And they were amazing. Reese has been in 2 of our projects that we've done. And again, I love to be able to find these young talents and then be able to bring them in other things. So she was in My Adventures with Santa. And then we also brought her back to do this. And she is spitting image of Denise Richards, honestly. So she's played her daughter in 2 projects. And then also my brother, Taylor Vale, voices the lead dog in there, Houdini. And he did a great job in that. We were able to, make the dog's mouth move and all of that. So the dog's mouth move when they're talking to the dogs. But when they're talking to the people, they don't move because the people can't hear them and know what's going on. So it's a very fun movie. It's something that everybody would love to watch. And it's a great one. It's coming out August 5th.
So where can people see it when it comes out?
It's going to be on all streaming platforms
great.
and on DVD everywhere. So pretty much any place that you can find any streaming, you'll be able to find it.
And the filming, where did the filming happen for all of this?
So we filmed that one in Connecticut.
That was in Connecticut as well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we pretty much go back and forth between Rhode Island and Connecticut typically.
Yeah.
We're doing one in Massachusetts right now currently, and we're starting to kind of do some more that are there. But those are the typical states that we bounce back and forth between.
Very, very cool stuff. I got to get back on set and watch you guys doing your thing again. And maybe even a couple of times there's been extra calls as well, but I've been out of town or whatever, but I got to get in on this because you guys are so great to
we'd love to have you back. So whenever you want to.
It's all, it's class operation what you guys do, state of the art. Here is the Junkyard Dogs. You're getting a chance to see this sort of exclusively in advance of it actually coming out, gang. Just for you here on the Jim Masters Show Live. So check it out. You're going to want to get it and you're going to want to enjoy it. Here we go.
You are going to look so handsome. Wait till I whistle like we rehearsed, okay?
Okay, Mom, I'm coming.
Nice tux.
Will you marry me?
Well, of course.
We're getting married. We're getting married.
Let's meet at the junkyard to celebrate after the owners go to sleep.
Just be ready to unlatch me.
I can unlock anything.
You're a lucky dog. Shane seems great.
Got some mail for you.
I think we just found our new bread and butter. When somebody's mailbox is full, we rob them.
Something is definitely brewing.
They're bad, aren't they? We're gonna find out what they're up to. But how? We're just kids.
Don't worry, guys. I'm on the case.
We are going to make this house like Fort Knox.
You know that cute couple getting married?
The whole block is invited.
They want to rob the whole neighborhood.
It's going down in 2 weeks.
We know exactly when they're going to strike. We got the upper hand on those schemes.
That is so cool. This guy's going down. That is really, really cool. When you see that, I can see the smile on your face. You're kind of excited, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely very excited for that one because that project, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was a challenging shoot to do. You've got kids, which you have limited hours that you can work with them, and then animals. You never know what you can predict with that. So there were certain days that we were stressed, not able to get certain things. You're not able to get the animals to work with us in the way that we needed them to, in the time that we had. Like you said, sometimes fighting light and things like that. So it's been really fun to see it all come together. And then, the post on that project obviously took a little while too, because we had to do a lot of VFX with it, making the dog's mouths move and all of that, and then all of the voiceover work that had to be done. So it took a while, to get that project done. And so we're just really excited to see it come out. And I'm very happy with the way it came out. I love the trailer. I think it's cute. I love the song choices, so it's a fun one.
That is really fantastic. Shows you guys the breadth and scope of the work that they're involved in. Really something for all tastes, something for everybody. Got a bunch of cool photos we want to slip in here as well. Tell us about this. Yes, there you are with Denise.
Yep. So that was on My Adventures with Santa. So I play an elf in that, as you can tell by the ears that are there. Yeah, that was part of our set that you were actually at the Armory, and we had amazing production designers that were able to turn it all into, a complete North Pole. So that was that day on set.
Isn't that cool? That's such a great shot. And just you can see the way it looks behind the ladies gang. Really fantastic set design and everything. Here's another great shot.
Yeah, that was a fun day. That's with Sylvester Stallone. So I am friends with Chuck Zito, who's a good friend with Sylvester Stallone, and we went to lunch with him and, kind of got to pick his brain about the Hollywood industry. And then a couple days later, I went to the Bruce Springsteen concert with him. So that was a pretty special, epic week for sure. David was jealous of that week, that's for sure.
I was going to say that's quite a trifecta there. And he's a good guy too, right? He's a good guy. And you guys, you and I were chatting beforehand. We hope to hopefully welcome as a guest on the show his brother Frank Stallone too, you've worked with.
Yeah, no, Frank is an awesome too. They're both just sweethearts. They really are. And Frank's hilarious. I'd love to be able to see if we can try and get him on your show. I think he'd be great for you to interview. But both of them, Sylvester Stallone was such a sweetheart. As soon as I got there a little bit late, to be honest with you. I was having a hard time finding parking, and they already had food, all out there. And I sat down, and he had meatballs. And he's like, "Here, I can't eat without you having something." He's like pushing his meatballs on my plate. So he was just a very sweet guy.
Wow, that's epic stuff you're saying. That's really cool. Here's another great shot.
Yeah, so that was at our premiere for Blood Circus, House Rules, which was the first project that brought me out here to the East Coast. So that was on our premiere. That was on the red carpet doing some interviews.
Cool.
And that's the premiere of Volt that we had. That's with Theo Rossi, and that was we had him in that. Clive Standen, Samira Wiley was in that movie. So that was a great movie.
And of course, David's there on the left.
Yeah, David's there too.
Yeah, it's
gotta throw him in there, and that's Steven and I as well. That was at the Rambo premiere in New York. So we went to the Rambo premiere, which was awesome. So
very cool.
That is the movie that I just finished in March. That was called Merry Xmas, and I play Cassandra. And so that's a monitor shot of my character there. She's very over the top, kind of ditzy, so that was a really fun role to play. I got to really go into comedy, which I haven't done very much of. I always kind of get thrown into like the scream queen kind of things. But that one was really fun to kind of do something different and really go into some comedy there.
Do you like comedy, or do you prefer dramatic, or do you have something that speaks to your heart and soul first, Chelsea?
I think that drama is kind of more so where I typically go, but I really enjoyed doing that. It was like a lighter type of project, and that was easier to do, I think, as far as producing, because you don't have to sometimes, like, someone's asking you for the toilet paper, now you've got, a very emotional scene. It's kind of hard to take yourself out of there, where the comedy was a little bit easier to bounce back and forth because it was lighter. But it was a completely different experience. I really enjoyed playing Cassandra. It was the first time that I'd really had a true stab at comedy, and it was a lot of fun.
That is cool. Yeah. So you'd probably like to do more comedy if it came along, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely would.
Here's a great shot too.
That was also on set of Merry Xmas. So that was back there, and that's with Jason London. So he is also in that movie, famously from Dazed and Confused. I've worked with him on several projects, and he played the bartender. And actually, this project was actually set up for COVID. We Jacob Cooney, who wrote that, wrote it during the peak of COVID, when we were trying to figure out how can we do movies in one location and keep everybody safe in a bubble. So that whole thing takes place in a snowstorm where they get snowed in. So everything in that movie takes place in the hotel. So that movie was kind of set up for COVID originally.
As you know, because I know a lot of people that were on sets in LA and elsewhere in New York, and they were trying to make things happen. How did you guys keep the wheels turning and the train on the tracks during the pandemic? How did you guys keep it all going and flowing?
I mean, it's been challenging, I'm not going to lie. So there's definitely been, at the peak of everything, we do COVID testing 3 times a week on all of our sets. And so that's the way that we try and keep it. So we try and keep everybody in a bubble while we're actually filming. But it's hard, especially, you go to the gas station and you see someone that's not in your bubble, or the grocery store, or this or that. So it is very hard to kind of contain that. And we have had times where at the beginning, in particular, if you had anybody that tested positive, you had to shut down the entire set for 14 days. And you couldn't film. So we got in situations like that at the beginning. Now the rules have lessened a little bit. If someone does test positive for COVID, they just have to remove themselves and be gone for 5 days, and the whole set doesn't have to shut down as long as everybody else is testing negative around you. So the rules have lessened a little bit, but it still happens. I mean, we were just on a show, a couple weeks ago, and we've got some sound guy that tests positive, and you got to struggle around to figure out somebody else that can be there. So it's something that we're still learning how to deal with as an industry, because our industry is really the only industry that requires testing like this. There aren't really, besides sports and things like that, but in general, as far as entertainment, we really always have to focus on all of the testing and trying to make everybody as safe as possible, especially because in this, you can't stay 6 feet apart. You can't keep your masks off while you're filming, so it was difficult to try and, work through all of that. So we've had times where we've had to shut down, and that's definitely been challenges, but we're kind of just learning with the rest of the world on how to get through this.
It's all new for everybody. Absolutely. It's a whole new ball game, and everybody's had to be flexible and just move things around as they could. Here's another great, and there we are with Barbara Eden, as we was just talking about, from My Jimmy Jeannie and More. And this is a great photo. Tell us about this photo, Chelsea.
Yeah, so this photo is at the end of the movie with all the good elves, which is who you picture there, are kind of shooting the Labafana character with some happy dust, and trying to make her laugh and become a good character again. And that's what's happening right here. She's starting to laugh, and she's starting to transform into a good elf at this moment. And so that's kind of what we're all looking at her as that's happening. So that was a really fun day, really fun set. It was a big day. We had all the good and bad elves, and it was a lot of running and chasing each other with the candy cane guns, and trying to get all the bad elves to become good again. So that's kind of what was happening in that shot. We're kind of watching her laugh and come into that character in that moment.
She was so epic in that role too. As Mrs. Claus, so epic. Beautiful movie. Again, I encourage you folks to get it. I've got my copy. Marty Thompson's watching from Nashville. He just did a super chat. Thank you so much, Marty. We really appreciate that. That helps support our series. He goes, Chelsea, welcome to the Love at Ease. You have done a lot of Christmas movies. Is that because you absolutely love Christmas, or is it just because it's a coincidence? Thanks from Marty, who's originally from Australia. He's a fabulous crooner and entertainer, and he lives in Nashville. Good question.
Yeah, actually, a lot of it is coincidence. I think what happened is once I started doing them, it kind of just became my thing to do. But I do absolutely love Christmas. It was one of my grandmother's favorite holiday, and Christmas is a very big time in my family, where we all get together from a very large family. So got, it's always 50 cousins and aunts and uncles and my grandma at our house. We've got Santa Claus that comes on Christmas Eve and does, the toys for the kids. So it's always been something that I've absolutely loved. So I really enjoy doing the Christmas movies. They're fun, they're warm, and it's just, I love all the colors and the lights and all of it. So I think everybody loves a Christmas movie,
Absolutely right. Yeah, whether you're a kid or an adult, there's nothing like a good Christmas movie for sure. And again, you've had this wonderful opportunity to be a part of these, which I think is so cool. Got more photos to show. Look at that one.
Yep. So that was on the set of My Adventures with Santa as well. That's with little Reese, who I was mentioning. She was in that movie, and then she's in Junkyard Dogs as well a few years later. And so so that was in the North Pole.
Were you freezing?
Yeah, we're beyond freezing.
Beyond freezing, I don't doubt. There you are doing your thing, huh?
Yep. That's when the producer hat comes on. So that's me directing everybody, saying, probably we need to make our days, guys. Let's hurry up.
Yes, right, exactly. Do you have a preference? Do you lean more behind the scenes now, or are you still always the actress?
I definitely still am always the actress. So that's where I lean. That's where, my forte is. It's where what I would like to do the most. But I love them both. I'm very thankful to be able to produce as well. And I like taking charge of a big group of people and kind of teaming it all together and organizing it and getting it all together. So, I mean, they kind of just worked hand in hand. I never really thought about producing really until I had met David. It wasn't anything that I had kind of thought that I would do, but it slowly just kind of happened where I was on these movies as an actress, but I started helping in areas that I knew needed help because I was there on set, and it just kind of transpired into what it kind of has become now at this point. And now I typically handle all of the main operations that are on the sets of all of the crew, doing a lot of the casting. I do a lot of the casting. I specialize in kid casting, actually. And yeah, so it's kind of just snowballed one into the other. So
that is so cool. So it's really, again, full circle for you in so many different ways. Here's another great shot.
Yeah, so that was an awesome. That's Miles Teller. That was right after we had gone to see the premiere of Bleed for This. And so he's one of the lead actors in that movie. And so that's a great movie too. If anybody wants to check it out, Bleed for This. David Gere produced that. I didn't produce that, but I was there at the red carpet premiere and everything. So that's a photo from that night.
Very cool. Oh, look at this one.
That's Samira Wiley. She's an incredible actress, from Handmaid's Tale and Orange is the New Black. And she also was the lead in our movie Volt that we did in Rhode Island. That was us in the director's chairs behind scenes, waiting in between.
Isn't that cool? I mean, you got some epic people that really want to be a part of these projects and productions. Here's another great shot.
Yep, it's looking at the monitor. That's with Brian Sweeney. He's one of our DPs that we work with very frequently. So just checking the shots, making sure we got everything we need.
Are you guys coming up with the ideas, or are people coming to you and saying, okay, I have an idea for a production, a TV series, a movie, and I would like you guys to be the ones who facilitate it and make it come to life? I have the idea, I have the script. Are you guys thinking up all the ideas for these projects, or is it a combination of all of the above?
It's a combination. It definitely is a combination. We get sent scripts all the time. I'm typically the one that goes through them and reads them to see if it's something that, we can help facilitate. And then also we do come up with the ideas as well. So we're always on the phone with, Universal, Netflix, Tubi, Marvis Entertainment, Lifetime. What are we needing right now? What does the market need? Does it need to be a rom-com? Do we need a horror movie? Is it a family film? And so at that point, then we'll go through and see what scripts that we've acquired. Do we have something for that? Or do we bring in a writer to facilitate what we want to do? So Drowning in Secrets, which was originally called Secrets by the Shore, was the one that we did for LMN. And that project came to us where they kind of gave us the idea. They wanted something that was done out on the East Coast on the water, and they kind of gave us bullet points of what they wanted to do. And then Jacob Cooney, who directed it and wrote it, got the project together in about a month. Actually, it was pretty quick on the turnaround for the script that was there. And we kind of went back and forth with them. We'd send them the script, they'd give us notes, and then we'd, rework it. So that was kind of how that worked. So we do a little bit of both. It kind of just depends.
That is cool. Gang, if you'd like to comment during the live show, feel free. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Master TV. You can chat in our JMS live chat loading room there, or you can also leave a comment on our YouTube channel as well. Thanks for all the great comments. You guys have been on fire with these comments throughout the show. I think that's so awesome. Thanks for the enthusiasm. And that, again, there's that shot. And now we're going to take you to the boat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what? Now, is this where you were out in the ocean?
Yes. That is out in the ocean. And, and that was a hard thing.
Like a backflip or something.
Yeah. What's so funny is when I actually did it, I didn't try and do a backflip, but it just happened like that. It was kind of one of those things where it was like, we've got to get this in one take because your hair is going to get all wet, we're going to have to dry you all up on the boat, and then go all the way back in. So it was, there's a stunt coordinator, which you can't see, who is sitting right under the boat there. And he kind of had a little step for me to put my leg on and kind of launch myself back. And I originally wanted to go forward. I was like, maybe it makes more sense to go forward. I felt more comfortable. And he was like, no. Even scuba divers, they go backwards. It's better for you to go back so you don't hit your head. So Anthony Hung, our stunt coordinator, was, right there to help us go through that. So, and it looks like he's completely shoving me, but he actually has no force or touch at all. So it's really just me kind of doing, doing that there. And I laugh at this shot a little bit because I laugh that my toe is pointed like the dancer in me still. But yeah, we got a pretty epic shot there from our BTS photographer, David Apuzzo. So he was on another boat.
David, yeah, he's a great photographer, isn't he? Yeah.
So he was on the other boat that was there, able to get that shot. So yeah, so we were able to get it going. So that was a very fun day.
Isn't that amazing? So did you actually fall backwards that way and land in the water with your back and legs and head first?
Yes. Yes, wow. I did. So, and then the hard thing is the director, Jake, he's like, can you try and make sure you stay under the water for a couple seconds? Well, I was floating up to the top. So I was trying to push the water under, to go like this to sink a little bit farther down. But it ended up working out. So.
Here's a great question. This comes from Kit Kat Legend. Welcome, Kit Kat Legend. Chelsea, for the days that you work as an actor and as a producer, how do you keep your head straight with everything going on? And thanks for that super chat, Kit Kat Legend. We really appreciate that. Helps support these episodes of the Jim Master Show live series. Love the blue, love that green color too, as well. Good question. How do you keep your head on straight with everything going on? You never feel like Linda Blair spinning, do you?
Sometimes I do. Especially lately. I'm like, what day is it? What time is it? When do I go to sleep? Is it day? Is it night? Going back and forth to the different times that we film all the time. But honestly, when we've got a lot going on like that, I love to bring my mother out here. Honestly, she's a hairdresser, but really she also kind of keeps my head on straight. She's the one that's saying, hey, you haven't had anything to eat yet. You need to eat something, So I really do, I still need my mom, and I bring her out here for some of these big ones, especially some of the hard ones where I'm going to be doing both because I do need a little help that's there. I also have an assistant that works with me, Kat, and she's always there my phone's never charged for whatever reason, she's always there with a charger or this or that. So I have a team around me that I build around to kind of help me keep everything, together and going forward.
That is so cool. It does. I say it often. It really does take a village. You got to have people, a support system. And that has grown exponentially, hasn't it? More and more people are a part of that team that are making it all happen, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. The beginning of COVID too, we were working with more of a skeleton crew just because we were trying to keep, minimal people that needed to be there. But as it's lessened, our crews have pretty much tripled recently and our projects have just been growing and growing. So because they've been growing, we needed more people around us. We need more people to kind of fill in the spaces that we have. And we've really created a very good team. They're not all from Connecticut. It's a lot of people that are from Boston and New York because that's where they work on other shows. But we're lucky that we're an hour and a half between Boston and an hour and a half from New York City. So it works out. So we bring out everybody here when we do these projects. And it's it does, like you said, it's a village that makes everything happen. It can't be one person, it really does take a team.
It's really cool. And somebody that's part of the team is watching, and there's nothing better than brother and sisterly love. Tanner Vale says, my sister is the greatest. So happy for her success and strive. Isn't that cool from Tanner?
Yes, that's awesome. So that's my other brother. So I have twin brothers, actually, Tanner and Taylor, and they are actors as well. And both of them were actually the two evil elves in My Adventures with Santa. So they're the twin elves that you see in that one, and they're two of the leads as well. So they're hilarious. And yes, I love their support. They're awesome, obviously.
Now, are they in Colorado, LA, East Coast?
Los Angeles.
They're in LA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's great.
They're in LA.
Yeah, we got some more cool shots. Here's another one.
Yeah, so that's another one from the premiere of Rambo on the red carpet there.
That is really, really cool. Do you get a chance to go to a lot of premieres, or are you guys so busy? There's, of course, for Damon's Revenge. That was a great one.
Revenge. Yes, no, absolutely. We'd love to go to premieres. It's good to be able to watch your own work on our own premieres, but also to be able to support other, fellow filmmakers that are making the films. And it's fun to be able to, all your hard work, that you put into it, it's fun to be able to take a step back and kind of just appreciate it and enjoy what you're making and enjoy what your fellow filmmakers are making as well. So we try and go to them as often as we can.
Yeah, which is really, really awesome. And there again, this is actually the cover for Damon's Revenge, Tom Sizemore and Chelsea Vale. That's really cool. Even the artwork too is something. You really bring in top talent to create all that too, huh?
Yeah, so that actually is done by VMI, the distribution company. So they hired a graphic artist that came in and put together that. And it's funny, we didn't even know anything that was kind of going on. All of a sudden, it was just done. So it was there, and that's how we got it. And I love it. I think it's really creative the way that they were able to put all three of us together and the mask that's there. It's a fun cover for sure.
A great shot there, huh?
Yeah, so that's Denise Richards, and that's also my mom, Sue, and she's a hairdresser. She works on our sets a lot.
She's like your sister.
Yeah, right? Everybody says that. But yeah, Denise has become a really good friend of ours. We've done several projects with her, and actually, she wants to end up producing something with us. So, we've kind of been talking about doing that here in the future as well.
Marty wants to know if you're related to the very famous crooner Chelsea Vale, because you don't see the name Vale a lot. I wonder if there's any family connection there. Another performer and entertainer. Thanks, Marty, for doing that super chat. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, actually, no, I do not have any relationship there. My real last name, my legal last name is Velasquez, but my stage name is Vale. So the Vale has no relationship to any family member. So that's just kind of what me and my brothers all go by in the entertainment industry.
See what she just did live on the air? She removed the veil. Literally, for all of you exclusively. There's a great shot there.
Yeah, so that was on Damon's Revenge. So that was down at the beach, and I'm getting mic'd by one of our sound guys. That's Christian, actually. So trying to figure out where we can put that mic in that tiny little shirt that I was wearing. So
that can always be a toughie, huh?
That can always be the challenge, yes, especially as a female. If you're wearing a dress or a little top or swimsuit, like where are we going to put this mic?
Yes, I know from being on set as well with TV shoots and all, when it is a female that's on set with us, and the toughest is when they're wearing like this one piece long skirt thing and they're handed the wire. If it's non-union, they're handed the mic, and they're like, well, what do I do with it? Do I go down or do I go up? It's a lot easier to just drop it and let it fall down than to try to go up something that is very long. If it's union, then they know what to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But it can be tricky. It
definitely can be. We actually just did a film with Megan Fox called Johnny and Clyde. We did that this last September, and I was helping Megan get mics because she was wearing, very small outfits, and she was just, it's better for a female to kind of help figure out where we're going to kind of put that, So yeah, that definitely can be a challenge for sure.
It can definitely be a challenge. All part of it to get the projects done and get everything all, squared away. And again, there's that one with Denise Richards. That's really is a great shot. What is it like working with her? It's almost like, is it like a sisterly kind of bond that's developed here?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I've become very close to Denise. She's sweet, just an absolute sweetheart, and she's just so much fun to work with. She's just a ball of energy, and she likes to hang out afterwards too. She likes to hang out with the crew. She's not, where I'm done and go up into my room and I'm done with everything. She wants to get to know everybody. She thanks everybody, and she's fun. She's funny. She banters back and forth. She just kind of comes with a ball of energy every single day, and it's a very hard worker, and I love working with her. She's just the sweetest. I'd love to do projects with her all the time because she's a great actress to work with.
She gets it done. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's that one with Barbara Eden again as well. And these are some really, really great shots. I mean, you have so many great things. This is a terrific shot of you. Are you doing a lot of different photo shoots? Try to keep it fresh and updated, I would imagine, huh?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I try to do different photo shoots all the time. So you always, you need to have new pictures. Those are what sells you, so photos go a long way.
And being a casting director, how does it work? Do you send yourself your own reel and headshots and make yourself audition in front of the mirror?
Yeah. No, it's funny. So all of our projects that I have had, even the LMN one that I did, Drowning in Secrets and things like that, I still always audition myself, so I always go on tape for the directors as well, even though I know some of these directors, sometimes I don't know the directors that are there. And the studio still ultimately have the final call on all of it. So even for any of us, if it's a larger role, we always still have to go on tape, and the studio has the final call.
Do you have a certain routine that you do, like before you're about to take on a project that is going to be very intense and it's going to require a lot of stamina, a lot of coffee or tea, a lot of energy drinks, and just a lot of hours, whether you're the performer, you're the actress, or you are behind the scenes producing and pulling it all together. Do you have a certain thing that you do? Are you very health conscious? Are you always into fitness, eating right, getting proper sleep? What are some of those other things you do to maintain mind, body, and spirit so you can take on the challenges of it all?
Yeah, I really am a big fan of juicing. That is something that I typically try and do, especially when I'm on set. I bring a travel juicer actually, and I really believe in having a fresh celery juice at the beginning of every day on an empty stomach before you've had anything else. It just kind of rehydrates you, gets yourself going before you have a cup of coffee, and then I know obviously coffee is not the best for you, but when you're on set and things like that, you do need something to kind of pick you up. So coffee definitely is a go-to while we're on set. But I also work out all the time. I do yoga all the time. So try and keep very fit and active because you have to. It's good to keep your body together. And also, I do believe yoga is also part of meditation, you do need that for your mind as well. So sometimes you've got to slow down the world that you're in and kind of just take a breather. So I do think that's very important to be able to have some me time in there.
What do you do when you're not doing this work? How do you balance out life? Do you like to swim? Do you like to cycle? What are some things that Chelsea likes to do? Do you like to cook? A couple of people were asking, what's her favorite food? What are some things you like to do to balance life from the frenetic pace of being in the movie industry?
Yeah, I love hiking. Hiking is one of my favorite things that I like to go do. So, especially in California, I do Runyon Canyon, Fryman, some of those big hikes that are out there. So, usually when I'm not filming out here on the East Coast, I'm back in California, and that's where my family is, and I spend a lot of time out there and hiking. Anything that's outdoors or on the nature or the beach. I go down to my mom's beach condo and just kind of unwind out there. So those are kind of some of the things that I do, as well as I love to still take some dance classes here and there as well, because that's just kind of my heart and soul. So even though I don't do it as much anymore, it's fun to just be able to go in there and take a class and everything. I do like to cook. As far as favorite,
You have a specialty?
I honestly, truthfully, lots of veggies. Like I'm a big veggie stir fry kind of person, kind of over a bed of rice or something like that. I could truthfully be vegetarian. I was vegetarian for 6 years, and then now I still eat that. Still eat a little bit of meat back and forth, but really veggies and fruit, those are kind of my forte.
That's really, really cool. What are some other things that you guys are that you're working on that you're excited about?
Right now, we are actually working with Marvis Entertainment, who's the one that did our Lifetime movie and the one that we just did for Tubi as well. So we're right now working on a 3-picture deal with them. So we're very excited about that. So we're getting ready to kind of work that together. So we're going through different scripts and submissions and kind of what they need and what they're looking for in their market right now. So that's what we've been working on actively. So I'm very excited about that. We also work with Birdie Productions as our other production partners that are out there in Rhode Island. And so we've got some fun things that are going to be brewing up here in the fall. So we're still kind of, all that stuff is still hush hush, but we're working on all of that coming up in the fall. But as soon as we're able to say some of that stuff, I definitely will let you know. But we've got some fun things that will be coming up in the next 6 months or so.
Why do you love doing what you do? You started out with these dreams in Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City, and then taking yourself, pulling up the bootstraps, packing the luggage, saying, I'm going to give it a shot, moving out to LA, pounding the pavement, making the connections, getting things going, and then even touching upon the East Coast. And here you guys are, epic producers and performers and rolling out all of this product for all of our entertainment and enjoyment. When you look at it, what are some of those continued blessings and joys in your life that keep you moving forward in that forward direction?
I think it's the finished product that really keeps you moving forward. There's so much work and energy that goes into these things. Really, I always say if you haven't really been on a film set, you don't really know what's going on, because for a month, you kind of are taken away from everybody. You don't even really have time to call your parents or your family or, your friends and check in. Your family really kind of becomes that group of people that are there for that month. It's such a, you're working long hours, you're working 14 to 16 hour days, and you kind of are just in it. And so it's really nice to be able to step back when it's done and be like, wow, that's what we made. That's what that was, or to look at things where, was a really difficult day, and then you see it come out on camera, and it's just amazing, and it's so worth it. And so I think that's is really what keeps you going, is the finished product and being able to see what you put out there. And I think it's really incredible to be able to put something out in the world. It's kind of like a piece of art. It's there for forever, and that's what I love about that. Even years from now, when I'm gone and not here anymore, there's still going to be something that I created that's here for the entire world to be able to watch, and I just think that there's something very powerful about that.
There really is. What would you say to somebody that's watching who is thinking about going into these industries that we're in, from your perspective, whether it is somebody who says, they want to be an actress, somebody that wants to be behind the scenes? I know a lot of people that have stopped by the Jim Masters show, even, Broadway folk, anybody who does any of this kind of work. One thing that they do say, there seems to be a theme that they share and express, which I think is very important and kind of cool. And that is, you have to be all in. You have to be 100%. If 50% of you wants to do these kinds of, these jobs, this career, being involved in this world that we're in, and the other 50% wants to be an accountant, go be an accountant because it's more steady. What would you say to somebody who is watching us that, gee, I would like to give this a shot and take a stab at this as well? I mean, the industry is ever changing and has changed in recent years greatly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I do agree with that. You do have to be all in, because this is such a hard business to get into, and you are told no way more than you're told yes, and it takes years to start to get those yeses. And sometimes you'll have a bunch of yeses and you'll be told no for 2 years and not have anything. And to be able to have, to keep your spirits up and to be able to persist and move forward, you have to be all in and really, really want it. You truly have to want it. If you don't want it, there's somebody else that wants it more than you, and they're going to get it, because it really is about persistence and perseverance, and really just not letting the no's get down on you. I mean, you'll hear all these famous stories of actors that were told no, or they weren't pretty enough for this role, or they weren't this or that, and then they blow up. And I think that is something that I've kind of taken to, is all of the no's is what's motivated me to be like, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do this. You said I can't do both, or you said I can't do X, Y, and Z. Really, now I'm going to show you, And so to me, I think that's the biggest thing, is using the no's that you have been told and motivating them to say, I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to just do this thing. And I do think that, it's really just determination and perseverance, and just not give up, because it will happen if you truly do want it enough, and you keep also say yes to every opportunity.
Yes.
If it's a small one, even if it's a one-liner or this or that, you never know who you're going to meet on that set or where it's going to open up. So never say anything's too small. And I say that all the time, especially to some of the younger actors, because sometimes, they'll have gotten something big and then they're like, well, I'm not going to do a one-liner. Well, why not? Why aren't you going to take that one-liner? Why did, who are you going to meet there, or this or that? You always want to say yes to every opportunity that you're given, because you never know where it's going to take you.
Good question came in from, I believe it's Kathleen Walker in New York City, watching live. She said, Chelsea, is there anything you haven't done in acting or producing that you want to do that is on sort of that Chelsea bucket list?
Yeah, I absolutely would love to be a series regular on a TV show. That's definitely my goal. That's absolutely something that I'd love to do. I'd love to be able to take in a character and only be able to focus just on the acting that's there and that role, and be able to do it for several years and really just take on that experience. So I've done some television, but it's just been 1 episode or 2 episodes or here or there. So it hasn't been a series regular, which I would love to do. I've done a lot of film, and I love that, but I'd love to be able to work with the same group of people for several years. I just think that's such a cool experience that I would love to be able to get into.
What are some of your favorite shows, whether they're on now or maybe they've wrapped up, that you would either like to be on or wish you could have been on?
Yeah, I mean, one show that I wish I could have been on, which is it's wrapped now several years ago, but Pretty Little Liars is one of my favorite shows on ABC. And that was definitely one of the shows that I wish that I could be on back in the day. Now I would say Handmaid's Tale. That's one of my favorite shows. And all the women in that show are incredible. The acting is so, just so rich and everything in there. So that's definitely one of the shows I'd love to try and get on at some point, would definitely be Handmaid's Tale.
Have you guys thought of developing maybe a show wrapped around you and others?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So David and I actually have several shows that we are in the process of developing, that we have pilots already written to and pitch decks that we have. It just takes a little bit longer to get those things together. And, because you're trying to get a studio to come on and sign on to something for several years at a time. So it just takes a little bit of time. So we're still kind of working those different angles and always pitching that. That's actually something I brought to David's attention right when I first met him, because he was really only into films. And I was like, we really need to get into television. That's where things are. I mean, these episodes these days, it's like an entire movie budget in one episode. I mean, it's incredible. So, I mean, these shows are just really, really thriving, especially with all the streaming platforms that are on there. There's so much television. So I'd love to absolutely get into a series regular role.
That's true now, because you've got Netflix and Hulu and Paramount Plus and Apple TV and all of them. It's incredible, right? It's really opened up a Pandora's box of opportunity for folks who want to produce content.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So, and it's awesome because there's all of these international television shows that are getting filmed in different countries, and Netflix is bringing them on and, dubbing them over, or, it's just awesome because it really has opened up so many opportunities for the entire world. You don't just have to be in the United States anymore for these shows.
Do you see yourself? I know like you say, you've filmed LA, filming New England area. Do you see yourselves at some point around the world filming?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we typically, the reasons why we are filming out here on the East Coast is there's tax credits here. So the tax credits bring everything here. So truthfully, a lot of things are going to Romania and some different countries like that, because they're offering 30 to 40% on some of these tax credits. So that is something that we're toying with, because I would love to go to another country and be able to do that. There's some great crew that's actually already in those countries because those tax credits are set up there. So you're able to kind of just bring your your department heads, and then you're able to crew up with everybody else in those countries. So I would love to do something in another country.
From your perspective, and I know it's hard to determine because you're doing the work yourself, but from what you've witnessed, even some of the people that you've admired, actors and actresses over the years, producers, what do you think it takes to be a really solid, effective actor or actress?
I think it takes training. I really do believe in training. I think that anytime that you're not actively working on something, you should be in a class, and always developing those skills and just keeping them fresh. And also, I think that it's great to be in showcases as well. So go to a school like maybe Playhouse West, and you can do those classes, and then you do these showcases that happen, once to twice a week, and casting directors come out. So I do believe that training is like the first and most important thing. It's just like I always say, you don't see a basketball player who doesn't go to practice, So I truthfully do believe that in order to be a very accomplished actor, it takes the training, and keeping up with the training.
Right, exactly. Keeping up with it. Don't just go to those initial acting 101 courses, but really keep, hone those skills, right, and that talent, which is really, really important. That's cool. If you weren't doing this work, what else would Chelsea Vale be doing?
I would be doing real estate. So
would you really?
Yeah. So I actually do have my real estate license in California, and I dabbled in that for a little while. And then I still actively look for properties and do fix and flips and things like that. So that's definitely my other kind of side passion of love that I do when I've got some downtime.
I would imagine. Yeah, what's that, right? I would imagine. So then, you're probably really good at scouting the locations. Oh, let me take a look at some listings here. This house is available for a shoot.
That's exactly what I do, actually. So that's how I found our Santa's house that we did on my Adventures with Santa. I was going through the real estate listings. I was like, this house is for sale, and there's nobody here, and it's vacant. I'm going to call the real estate agent. So yeah. So I do a lot of the location scouting for our projects.
It's really amazing. A lot of people don't realize that, there are houses that are used in movies and TV series that are facades. Of course, I think was it the Warner Brothers Ranch or Paramount Ranch? Whereas that's the one block or the one neighborhood they built for.
Desperate Housewives?
I think they built this. I think the same facade was used for Gidget and Hazel. The same facade of this house was used for Bewitched. And then Dr. Bellow's house and I Dream of Jeannie. And then the I Dream of Jeannie house was multiple shows. And it's just this block of these facades that were used to create this neighborhood. I think it was the Paramount lot or Warner Brothers Ranch, but it's a place you can tour. Really, really cool. And I know when I've been on professional work and I've taken the hat off and had some downtime in Los Angeles, I become like a kid again. And we had to go on a recent shoot. I was filming we were in Calabasas, and then we had to drive. The crew and I had to head out to Temecula, which is really beautiful. Both places are fantastic. And I said, I got to find the Brady Bunch house. I just have to. I met Florence Henderson. I knew Florence Henderson. And it just that whole thing, I got to find the Brady Bunch house. And we found it. And it was at the time when HGTV was doing that Very Brady renovation.
Okay.
And one of my friends, Lauren, who was the vice president of HGTV, brought in, the Property Brothers and all of the kids from the Brady Bunch, the original actors and actresses, and they rolled up their sleeves, put together. And it was so cool to see that. And then I had to go up to Pasadena to see the house that was used in the TV series Family with Christy McNichol and Meredith Baxter Burney, Seda Thompson, James Broderick, Matthew Broderick's dad, Gary Frank. And that was used in other movies too. And it's a beautiful house that is worth probably $4 million now. That was the house used. They never used the inside, but they used the lawn, the front yard, the backyard, the driveway, the whole neighborhood, the streets. They used all of that for that TV series on ABC. It was an Aaron Spelling production. And then I was on a TV shoot up in Maine. And it was this beautiful house. I think it was a $2 million house. And this was actually hosting a half-hour infomercial show, but they spared no expense. And we were in this house of this older couple. The woman had her couches, her rugs, the living room was pure white. And everybody's like, oh my God, this woman is letting us, the crew and the dollies and the jibs and, crumbs and everything. But she had this epic situation where her living room window was literally on the banks of Casco Bay in Portland, which was the shot they were looking for. So some of the other actors and actresses who were with us, I was the host, and then there were some others that were other talent. There was a doctor they brought in who was the expert, and they had us seated across from each other on these white couches with that beautiful view of Casco Bay behind him and the bookshelves behind me. And people were so nervous because it was an actual home that people lived in. And we were talking to the couple. They were there, and I think they were going to sell the house. And he was becoming vice president of Aetna Insurance in Hartford, Connecticut or something. So they were going to sell the house anyway. But they rent the house out for TV shows, for movie productions. So there are people who have houses where somehow they're able to work around their lifestyle while they get paid quite well to have their house used for locations, shots and stuff. That's pretty cool, isn't it? When you get a chance to meet those people who live in the houses that you're using as a set.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we actually just filmed in a house for 7 days, and it was all overnight. And we had a fantastic homeowner. His name was Hal, and he allowed us to kind of come over there and take over. And a lot of the time, some of the homeowners we are there, they'll want to go in a hotel, especially if it's going to be overnight shoots. But he just wanted to be there and kind of be part of the process. And he actually, on our last night, we wrapped at 7 in the morning, and he is like, you guys have all been working so hard. I'm gonna, do a big like kind of wrap party in the morning. So it was like in the morning because we filmed all night. So 7 in the morning, he was making steak and eggs, and it was like on our last day we had mimosas and kind of celebrated. But he was kind of a special one that was on there because not all the time do you have that, but he kind of welcomed us in and just kind of wanted to be part of the action. But yeah, sometimes you typically have homeowners, and you kind of just have to like ask very nicely, hey, can we use your place? And, we always try and make sure that we take care of everybody's houses, as much as possible. Always have all of our crews respectful. We put down, any protective gear on the ground so there's not, rolling, like you said, dollies and things like that all over their house. But it is really special when you have someone that's going to offer up their own house that they live in. So.
It's really incredible. Did you do that tour in your car driving around LA looking at the houses that were used in movies and TV series too?
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely.
It's
You,
kind of
you
cool.
gotta do that. You gotta see it in person.
You got to see it in person. Jen Barry in Allentown, Pennsylvania says, Chelsea, after you create your movies, do you rewatch them? What is it like to see yourself in the TV movie or screen or in theaters? So creating the movie and now you're actually seeing it come to fruition and seeing yourself on the screen. What's that like for you, that experience? Good
Yeah.
question.
That is a good question. I actually don't really like watching myself. So I don't typically watch them, especially, we'll have to give notes on movies. I typically try and wait till like right at the end, because otherwise I'll give way too many notes in particular about my stuff. So I definitely, it's hard to watch yourself. So I watch them once and I don't usually rewatch them again. So, and I like to wait till the premieres if I can. If it's a film that I'm not in, I rewatch it a million times. But if I'm in it, I kind of like to see it one time and then I'm done.
Yeah, you move on to the next.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Depp or somebody once said that he hasn't really ever watched any of the movies he's in. He just moves on to the next project, and some people do that. I know when something airs that I've done, TV, radio, or any film work, I'll watch it because I'll want to sort of review it, critique myself, what I believe, what I was saying. Sometimes we'll have family and friends with us who I'll say when it comes on TV, whatever. Now, detach that you know me, you don't know me. So would that guy convince you? Is that convincing what I'm saying or doing? So looking for their feedback. But I usually, as strange as it sounds to people who know that I've been doing what I've been doing for a while, I usually don't like what I've just done, no matter how epic it may be considered. It may have won awards. People may be high-fiving, saying, you nailed it. You were spot on. You were awesome. I just don't like it right away, only because I've set up these expectations myself. So I need to be, like you say, you wait to the premiere. I need to be emotionally disconnected from the actual urgency of what we just did. I have to be separated and allow things to sort of simmer down with the emotional investment and then watch it, where it's more, maybe I can appreciate what I've done more because I'm detached from the immediacy of the urgency of hoping we did something well and we strove for excellence and we knocked it out of the park and all those things that we self-impose on ourselves. Are you like that too? Do you have the emotional connection where you need to detach from that and then sort of look at it from a different lens?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that if you don't watch yourself and see something that you should change or do better, you're never growing. So I think you're always going to watch something in your performance and say, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that, or next time I'm going to try this. And I think that's normal and I think that's healthy. That's how you do grow. And so for me, I like to be able to watch it, take note in that, but I don't like to sit and analyze it because I think that's really hard, especially the industry that we're in. You're being judged by everybody. So you want to try really hard not to judge yourself because you've got to give yourself a little bit of flexibility. So I think you want to learn from it for sure. Absolutely. You're always going to find something that, you want to do better next time, but try not to stay and harp in it because it's not good for your soul.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. If people want to learn more about the projects and where they can find all this great work and material, where can they go?
Yeah, everything is kind of updated on IMDb, so all of our projects are there. So on IMDb or my Instagram, I keep everything on my Instagram, which is Chelsea M. Vale. So that's where I keep everything. So we always are posting everything there. And then IMDb is a great resource. All of our projects are always listed there with all the information on where you can find them and where they're going to be coming out.
That is so cool. Well, somebody that's always with us that pops into us the latter part, my friend, Mr. George Burns, with us here this evening. And he always puts the smiles on everybody's faces. He's here with his cigar and his red pocket square. And my aunt collected collectible dolls and it got passed down to me through the family. So he pops on and he said, you knocked it out of the park, kiddo. He loved it. He learned a lot, even though he's been in the industry all these years. He learned a lot. He said you were fantastic and he wishes you continued success and sends you lots of love from George Burns. How about that, huh?
Awesome. Well, thank you, George.
And hey, you got God on your side because he played God in the Oh God movie series too. So it's kind of cool.
There you go.
This was epic, my friend. Really a terrific conversation. Some of our Loverty viewers chiming in. Sherry Larson is watching in Kansas. She goes, thank you, Chelsea, for being here with us. What a career so far. Good luck in the future with all you do. And Jen Barry in Pennsylvania says, thank you, Jim and Chelsea. You're very welcome. Kathleen in New York City, thank you for being here. Chelsea, good luck with all you do. Thanks to everybody, all these comments pouring in here. Again, say hi to my buddy David. He's the best. You're the best. And hopefully we'll see you guys real soon. Thanks for popping on the show. And I hope the show, I know you've watched the show as a viewer, which is fantastic. They already said you're a Jim Master Show lovity. So there's all these awards you can win. I said Oscars, Emmys, Tonys, Tellys, Peabodys, all these great awards, Grammys. But when you get a lovity on the Jim Master Show live, it's really cool, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you taking time, to allow me to be on the show and working with me. I know that our schedules weren't lining up for several months here, but like I said, you never know when a project's coming and your schedule.
That's right.
So I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of rearrange everything and help us make it work.
Absolutely. Good things come to those who wait, and patience is a virtue. And I fully get it, being in this industry, what it's all about. So glad you were able to pop on. Jen Berry says, Chelsea, you're now a lovity. And Marty Thompson in Nashville, I saw that you did the movie with Tom Sizemore. He seems to be a larger than life person. He was amazing in Private Ryan. I think you mentioned this a little bit earlier, but in case he came in late, what was it like to work with Tom?
Tom is just such a joy to work with, and he is larger than life on and off camera, actually more off camera. So we have so many laughs working with Tom. He is just a ball of energy. He really is. And he is, he, like I said earlier tonight, he really is all about the team and really does believe in the craft and putting in the work. So he's not one that just shows up on set and is just like, what's the lines? What am I doing? Which some of these actors kind of can be as they get, older, later into their careers. He believes in rehearsing over and over until the cameras come on and making it perfect. And he really is about bringing up some of the younger actors with him. So he's incredible to work with. I've worked with him a couple times and I love working with him on and off camera. He's just so much fun. I've got so many stories with Tom that, over the years, and it's been great.
That's fantastic. Well, he's welcome to join us here on the show as well. So spread the word for us. And I hope that the show met whatever expectations you had, my friend. You enjoyed the time with me and all of us as much as I and we certainly have with you, Chelsea.
Absolutely. It was a blast. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're very welcome, my friend. Thank you, Jim, for another wonderful show from Sherry and Linda in Florida down in St. Augustine. She goes, thank you, Chelsea, for coming to Jim's show and telling us your story. Cool stuff. And Marty in Nashville, Tom Sawyer will make a great guest. Absolutely. They're on it, gang.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. They're putting their orders in. You're the best. Keep in touch. Good luck and congratulations on you guys are just knocking out of the park. Such hard work. I've seen it, in person myself. And I wish you guys nothing but continued success. And thanks for stopping by the Jim Masters Show live, my friend. It was really epic.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Have a good one.
You too. Take care now.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Chelsea Vale, award-winning actress, producer, casting director extraordinaire, joining us here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Again, you can check out all of these epic productions. And what we talked about, gang, really just scratches the surface of the material that she's been involved in, either as an actress herself, as a producer, behind the scenes, casting director, all of it. Really, really epic. We took a look at some trailers. We took a look at some photos. We really mixed it in. We really appreciate Chelsea stopping by the Jim Masters Show Live. Truly, she and I have been putting this together for quite some time because once they were wrapping up one film, there was another one that came down the pike for Chelsea and for David and everybody involved. So really cool. I know you guys enjoyed this episode. You've been commenting throughout. We really appreciate all these great comments. Did you see when Monica Mancini and Greg Field were with us last night? Double Grammy-nominated vocalist, daughter of Henry Mancini, an 8-time Grammy-winning, Emmy-winning record producer, musician. Greg Field was with us. Yeah, and we're very excited to have you watch that. If you missed it, it was an epic episode. Look who's with us tomorrow. A music legend, Ava Cherry. Yes, she performed with David Bowie for years, also Luther Vandross, Chaka Khan. She's still performing. She just wrote this epic book, All That Glitters. Acclaimed vocalist and model, Ava Cherry. This is exclusive, coming with us on our show tomorrow. Then Joey Hartstone, He is an amazing film and television writer. He wrote the screenplay for the movie LBJ, yes, starring Woody Harrelson as Lyndon Baines Johnson. He's got a new thriller out, The Local. He's also working on several television series right now, which is really cool. He's going to be with us. We're very excited about that. Then we've got another epic legend on our show, Ober Babatune. He's going to be with us. Emmy-winning actor, producer, director. He's been in 33 films, and he's starring in 4 television series right now on all the television networks. He's won a Lifetime Achievement Award. He's just epic. He's very funny. He's a legend. He's been doing it for 40 years. He's with us on Friday, which is really, really exciting. I can't wait. So these are just some of the guests that are coming with us. On Saturday, we've got another incredible musical artist, acclaimed Latin percussionist, songwriter, producer, and recording artist. Chilly Willy Groove is going to be with us. Yes, you've heard his music. He's been around a long time. He's going to play for us. He's an amazing bundle of energy. He's a great guy. And he is with us on Saturday live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're really excited about that. Lots of great music with acclaimed Latin percussionist, songwriter, producer, recording artist extraordinaire, Chilly Willy Groove. He's going to be with us. Really excited about that. So thankful that Chelsea Vale could join us here on the show again. There is that fantastic movie that we were talking about with Barbara Eden. If you didn't see that movie, My Adventures with Santa, Barbara Eden starred in that. So did Denise Richards, Patrick Muldoon. And I was actually there on set for a couple of the days of the filming. And stunning. It's a stunning production, and it's available. You can see it anywhere. And there's the shot with Barbara Eden as Mrs. Claus. So as you can see, they do all kinds of product for film and for television, whether it's thrillers, comedy, family movies, heartwarming movies. They do it all. And we really appreciate Chelsea joining us here on the Jim Masters Show live. It was a great conversation. And now you got a chance to learn a little bit more about her. Maybe you've seen her in some of these shows and productions. Look for their work on the Lifetime Movie Network and just about everywhere you can think of. And we really appreciate all her time. Great shot, too. Of course, David in the middle, David Gere. If you missed the episode when David was a guest on our show, you can see it here. We had an epic conversation with David Gere, fantastic actor. He was on Glee and a lot of other shows and movies, David, and he's an epic film producer. He was with us as well. And Kathleen Walker says, thank you, Jim. Great show. You're the best, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to have you guys with us. We love when you're here. And it's always great having you with us, Kathleen, in New York City. The Mets were obviously off tonight. That's why you could join us. Jim, great interview. Marty Thompson, thank you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're in the best of spirits and good health, Marty. Hello to Babette and everybody there in Nashville, Tennessee, USA. Marty Thompson in the house. He did a couple of super chats. We really appreciate that. And Kit Kat Legend was here as well. Thanks to Kit Kat Legend watching. Did a super chat as well. Yeah, hopefully we'll get Frank Stallone and Tom Sizemore and others that they work with on the show. We're always working behind the scenes for all of you, bringing you the best content we can here on the Jim Masters Show Live, Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series. Jim, so good to be back home with you and your show, with you lovities and the guests. Awesome. Thank you very much. Always good to have you with us. Jen is Zen there in Pennsylvania, USA. Gang, don't forget, if you enjoyed this, to give us a thumbs up on our YouTube channel. There's a thumbs up icon. Click it and leave a comment. Drop a comment on our YouTube channel. Even if this is your first time watching, let us know how much you enjoy our series, maybe this episode, and whatever else it is that we're doing that you enjoy here on the Jim Masters Show Live series. Don't forget, you can also binge watch hundreds of episodes, almost 800 episodes we have done in just 2 years of this series. which is extraordinary. That's a lot of talking, a lot of good moments, a lot of surprise moments, and a lot of what we call the JMS levity with all of you. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I know we say it, but it's still very vital and important. Click that red subscribe button. That helps us grow. It helps us continue to reach more people. It allows us to develop more content for you in all these episodes. Click that red button. There's no cost when you do that. It's just subscribe, but there's no cost to do it. And click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes. Because when you click the notification bell icon next to that word subscribe, it's important because you'll get alerts about all the episodes. So you'll never miss out. I know sometimes people, oh, I didn't know that episode was happening, or I didn't know that that person was going to be a guest, or what have you. So make sure you click the notification bell so you get the alerts. I've even clicked the notification bell for me, so I get alerts about my own shows. It's kind of exciting when I get that little alert. Coming up tonight, Jim has such and such. It's kind of cool. You guys are great. Thanks for all these terrific comments. And Mary Bishop's in the house there in Florida. And she says, great show tonight with Chelsea. Thanks, Jim. The pleasure is all mine. Mary, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for everybody watching. We've got so many great guests. Again, tomorrow is epic with Ava Cherry. She's a legend. Marty Thompson says, Frank Stallone sang with me on my show back in the 90s. Give him a call. Yeah. You know who else knows Frank Stallone? Gary Private, the teen idol and great singer that was with us a couple of weeks back, the legendary singer. He's a friend of his as well. Sherry Larson is watching in Kansas. She says, good night, everyone. Sweet dreams and have a wonderful Wednesday. Love and hugs to all you as well. And everybody watching from all around the world, whether you're watching live or you're watching this Memorex, you're watching this later. Gang, we do not say goodbye around here. We say see you later, sláinte, ciao, cheers, hasta la vista, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, moi loop, and be well and take care, love one another, be good to one another, and be good to yourself. Thanks for joining us in this episode and all the episodes you enjoy of the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series. Don't keep it a secret. Let everybody know. Climb Mount Everest with a bullhorn and tell everybody, I love and watch the Jim Masters Show on his YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would love that. And thanks for being with us. You guys are the best. You've got such a great viewing audience all around the world. Linda Odell says, good night. You as well. For those watching live, we say we'll see you tomorrow. For those who are watching this, not live, but Memorex, watching this in the archive, stay right there. There's another episode of our series that you can watch and enjoy, created just for you. Just more comments coming in here. You guys are still commenting in our JMS Live lovely chat room. Appreciate all that. All right, gang, we'll see you later, okay? Thanks for being with us. Fun episode. They all are of our series, The Jim Masters Show. We'll see you on the next one. Stick with us. More great content and episodes coming your way. Keep spreading the good news. Share the links on all of your social media platforms. That really helps us. Leave comments on our YouTube channel. Click thumbs up. Subscribe. Support. And celebrate what we're doing, bringing people together in this interactive nature with entertainment, inspiration, poignant conversations, love, levity, all the rest, light, and wacky moments, especially when you're live. You never know what can happen. And a lot of times crazy things have happened, and that makes it fun. We'll see you on the next one. Be well, gang. Thanks for being with us. Cheers.